Pleasant Monday evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm doing very well myself. We are in the Captain Sim 737-200, and we're sitting here at Boston Logan. We're going to make a return trip up to Halifax as part of the weekly, well, yeah, I don't know if it's weekly, but just about every week anyway. Part of the Moncton Monday activities going on here. Generally speaking, quite a bit of Canada obviously is lit up, and no exception tonight. Let me show you what we've got going on right now. So here we are, Boston area. Obviously the Moncton Center is lit up, as well as, is this Quebec? Is that Gander? Sorry, Gander, I think. Yeah, anyway, that sector is lit up. And then Winnipeg, right? Winnipeg? I think that's Winnipeg. A lot of times we'll have Toronto, and there's Montreal, I guess. But so a little bit lighter than normal on the Canadian side of things, but that's okay. If you come across this stream, this is what I do here. I like the vintage birds, I like the bush flying, I like the old school navigation. It's a little bit of a variety show, I guess you would say, in that I try to make sure it's never the same aircraft twice. So let's get right to it. We've got about an hour and a half flight plan. I'd like to get in the air here by the top of the hour, or excuse me, the bottom of the hour, so we've got about 20 minutes is all. Parking brake is set. And we've got the battery going. Good Monday evening, my man. Downwind Sim. He's going to be bouncing back and forth, I'm sure, between this stream and our buddies Slant Alpha down there. Yes, indeed, up north, Moncton Monday stuff going on. You know how I like the Moncton Monday. Oh gosh darn. I have the hardest time with this click spot right here. Right here. Gotta make sure that guy's on, and it is on. We'll go ahead and keep that down. I do have ground power going, and just got my PDC. You heard that beep in there. We have been cleared. Logan 2 P's. I might as well show you where we're going. So Logan 2, we're going to be heading up here to Portsmouth, or Pease, and Kennebunk, then Alex, and then we're going to grab the Fundy 3 arrival, which is a little bit funky, and I'll explain why when we get there. But you can see a little bit of weather to deal with here, and so I'm hoping we can get this old girl up high enough to be over most of that. Otherwise we may have to do a little bit of diverting, but yeah, Fundy is fun. It's got something kind of weird. So downwind, I hope you stick around, because I actually have a question for you about the Fundy 3 arrival. If you want to look at it, and maybe you can see what I'm talking about. All right, anyway, let's get back to business here. Ground power is connected. We do have to let's see, left hydraulic pumps are, oh, they're already on. This thing does not have a cold and dark setup state, which is a little frustrating, and so I try to shut it down, and in the hopes that it will reload in the same state I shut it down, and I'm not finding that to be the case either. So that's a little bit of a bad deal. Okay, emergency lights are armed, so we're just going to go back through and just check everything here as if it's needing to be checked. No smoking, fasten seat belts are on, and then we have this weird master switch behind the first officer. Those are both on. Very good, very good. All right, clearance we have requested, and we're confirmed, and we do need to put our transponder 1301. All right, that looks good. Flight data, we're going to go ahead and enter in our flight data here. It's a crazy star. Pick a corner. Well, the yeah, I'll get to that. Let me stay focused here a little bit. All right, I'm starting to figure this little guy out a little bit here. It gives us some decent information, but not a ton. And what it does is it gives us the EPRs, and they're not completely 100% from what I'm seeing what I need. So here's what I know after doing about 4 flights in this, is that we have a takeoff thrust of about 208. That's our toga, so I'm going to spin that around. This is regardless of where I'm at. This has been about where we're at here, between 205 and 208, almost everywhere. And it's mainly based on, well, it's based on temperature, it's based on airport elevation, and it's based on your center of gravity as well, or not center of gravity, but your gross weight, your zero fuel weight. All right, then our cruise, or excuse me, continuous climb is, interestingly enough, up here more in the 215 range. So there right away is a little bit of a head scratcher, but I think I know why that is. And it's because the higher up you get in altitude, the less climb performance your engine has, and so you have to have a little bit more thrust behind that. And then the one I have not been able to figure out is, so this is all this down here. We're not going to actually put this in because, like I said, I've done 4 different flights. I've kind of had the same results each time, which tells me I'm maybe doing some things right but not everything right. But it gives you a takeoff EPR, which we don't have, a climb EPR, and then a cruise EPR. So my cruise EPR is the one that really throws me off, because it always tells me that it should be something like 1.3, and that just is crazy talk. So what I try to do is just set my speed to be Mach decimal 78, and so I just adjust my power accordingly. So anyway, that's why I'm not going through that. I did show that last time I was in here, but I'm not tonight, just because I'm feeling less confident about what it really is giving me. So yeah, there's that. Ground power should be on. Why is it not? Oh, I need to flip it up? No, ground power on. Alright. I should be getting some more of this stuff down here. I may have to get things fired up. Might have to get the APU going here a little earlier than I like. In fact, I think I will. No, I'm gonna follow my checklist here and just make sure. So my COM frequency and my nav frequency, yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky. 2880 is where I will be eventually. I'm not fired up just yet, so it's, oh, yep, it actually does give it to me. I have enough power with ground, I guess, that we're in good shape. Logan 2 departure, by the way, we'll show you real quickly. We are the ATIS information Papa information. What is the information? Information Papa, yeah. And we're departing runway 22 right. So here is what we're looking at doing. Oh boy, wrong way. Right there. So 22 right is that guy right there. So we'll be making a left-hand turn 140, and then we should get up to 5,000. Then we'll get vectors to P's, and then on to Kennebunk, and 88 and out the gate. Yeah, CYHZ, that's Halifax. Ooh, yeah, man. Jump in there. This is a perfect route for the Mad Dog. About, like I say, about an hour and a half or so. Fire it up, buddy. Love to have you along. Even if you don't fly on the network, I get that too. So let's just double check to make sure, by the way. Logan 2, so take off 22 left, 22 right. Yep, climb left, turning 140. Thence 22 right, we're going to be, yep, all that stuff is going to be good. And we'll expect radar vectors to the assigned route nav8/fix, jet aircraft will maintain 5,000 or lower assigned, and then we can expect our cruise 10 minutes after. Okay, very good, very good. So we're going to change, we're going to put, it's going to be hard to see here. I may not be able to see it. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. But what I'll do right now is I'll put in my Portsmouth 11650. Just to kind of have that ready to go. Not a ton of information, by the way, that you've got to put into this guy. There we go, get that guy out of the way. Which is kind of nice, honestly. And then let's put in Boston here, 1270 on the other side. So we have an outbound reference point. All right, all right, all right. Fuel, I did set that, so we're ready for a little pre-start flow here. Yaw dampers are going to come on. Fuel pumps are going to come on. We've got fuel in all three pumps, left, right, and center. The window heat can come on. Pitos will stay off. The packs are going to come on. We're going to get the AC going a little bit here. ISO valves, this guy is going to be to auto. Is that auto? Yep, auto right there. And our APU bleeds, engine bleeds are all off. Yes, indeed. Going to set flight, flight altitude 330. Landing altitude at Moncton. That's a great question. 477, so we'll put that guy at about 500. That'll work. Alright, let's keep going here. Cabin altitude. We'll make our cabin altitude be, you know, something in that probably 4,000 to 5,000 range is probably fairly comfortable to most people. Anti-collision lights and position lights are already on. Strangely enough, altitude, I need to set a warning for, ooh, I can't see all of my, right now it's at 10,000, so I need a warning at 5,000. Weird, it should have a couple more zeros there. Interesting. When I get things fired up, I may have to come back and look at that. That has no bearing, by the way, on the altitude where you end up. It's just a little warning. Heading we will set here in just a second. Altimeter from the ATIS information 29er 69er. Oh, pardon me. Oops, not 29er 96, 29er 69er. All right, there we go. And the doors are closed. The jetway is removed. I actually never connected the jetway. I'm making some progress on the GSX mystery, and hopefully have that as part of my streams with my non-PMDG aircraft soon. Blue Dolphin, the drink of the night. Blue Dolphin on the rocks, actually. All right, we're ready. APU start. Ooh. Hey, I didn't know that was there. There's a little click spot right somewhere in there. Awesome. That may come in handy, you never know. I'll pull that wet compass down and yeah. Alright, waiting for the generators to come on. That's part of my problem is I turn my lights on here. There comes the generator. Wait for the bus to come on. Okay, we're good there. I can take the ground power off now. Let's go up here. We need to go, we're going to go to Generator 1 power. Oh, sorry, APU generator power. And we're on the bat bus. Okay. We're good? We're good. Gasper fan will come on. The packs are going to turn them off just for a minute. Engine bleeds will come on. APU bleed will stay off here. Yeah, okay. Move over on the water. Lobs to 6. Yep, a similar route, just the RNAV, and I just don't have that. You and your fancy MD-80 with your RNAV, your fancy RNAV equipment. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get this thing started here. Turn that to ground. Oh boy. I'm getting nothing. Why am I getting nothing here? Holy cow. When I say nothing, I'm getting nothing. Okay. That's not good. That is not good at all. Packs are off. Bleeds are on. No pressure here. APU bleed needs to come on. Alright, let's see if that makes a difference. There we go. Alright. Oh, engine bleed, APU bleed on. Both need to be on, yes. Okay, let this guy come up to 20%. All I need to do here is actually read the... Oh, holy cow, I already have my... my engine cutoff was up to idle already. Well, okay. Again, another one of those quirky things that for some reason that was on. I really need to figure out how to do that. There's got to be a way. There's got to be some config that lets me start this baby in a cold and dark. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you create that?
Good evening, November 367 Bravo.
Oh, baby,
India.
bought the Navigraph sub.
Clearance to Providence.
That's right, you're drinking the Kool-Aid now.
367
I'll have you
Bravo,
over to
India,
P3D
Boston,
before you know it, downwind.
Providence Airport via Logan to departure. Radar vector is direct. Maintain
Actually, it does those moving maps.
After departure frequency 13.
It's awesome.
1302.
Okay. Engines are going. Good deal. So let's come up here. Let's get the pedos
Clear to Providence via the Logan to departure. Radar vector is direct.
Let's get the, let's see, we don't need any anti-ice tonight just yet.
Departure frequency 134.7, and could we get the squawk again, please?
We're going to go ahead and turn the packs back on. APU bleed is going to come off.
Okay, and
we can actually turn the APU off altogether. So you have the engines going. And these need to be put on left and right ignition. That's the auto ignition. And then we're going to put the right hydros on. And
okay, we have Quebec, and
all right.
We'll call ready for taxi.
We are ready. Ready to push. Let's just make sure I know where I'm at here before I say that. Bravo 17. So let's look at the gate here and let's see. We need to go to 22 left. Pardon me, 22 right. Alright, so we are. This will be the only time I use this, by the way. But I do use it for the safe taxi feature, so we're here. I'm expecting an Echo, Bravo, November, crossing 15 right, 15 left type of deal here. So let's, we'll give that guy a call. We are going to be pushing back onto Echo, so we do need permission to do that. And Boston Tower, good evening. Empress 902, we'd like to request permission to push and start onto Echo.
Empress 902, Boston Tower, good evening. Push tail north on Echo, expect 22 right, advisory taxi.
Push tail north, expect 22 right, we'll call you for taxi, Empress 902. Alright, very good, very good. Here's where I really wish we had GSX. But we can still do it kind of the old school way. Shift P, And come on, Shift P. And the old number 1 key. Give him the old number 1, Ricky. Forget about the curveball. Okay, here's where we're heading. And just, okay, it's a little cheating, but here's the overhead view. So we're pushing back onto an active taxiway, basically. So when you're in this area, you don't normally have to have clearance to push back in VATSIM, but you do in certain areas, in certain airports, and this is one of them. So just a little insider trick from a guy that flies the Boston area quite often. Okay, we're just about ready. Let's make sure we have everything ready for before taxi. The flaps are going to be set. It's a flaps 5 departure. We are going to make sure that our transponder is squawking Charlie. So mode Chuck right there on the V pilot, and hard to see here, but all the way over to mode Charlie TARA, and it'll, I don't know if you saw it, but it changed to TARA over there. Controls. We're going to check the controls. Full right, center, full left, center. Elevators up, elevators down, rudder right, center, rudder left, center. Controls checked. Chickadee checked. Taxi lights can come on. And it's just, do I need any other? I don't know if I need any. Let's turn those guys on just cause we can. Just cause we can. Alright. Everything else before taxi checklist is complete. And Tower Empress 902 ready for taxi. I should always tell them the ATIS.
Empress 902, runway 22 right, taxi via Echo Bravo November, cross runway right, hold short of runway 15 left.
Echo Bravo November, cross 15 right, hold short 15 left, Empress 902. Yep, always check in with the ATIS. You know better. Alright, here we go. Brakes are off. Mr. Fancy Pants Downwind Sim with his MD-80. He's probably already in the air. I think probably taxied itself where it needs to go. Just kidding, man. I would have the Navigraph subscription and charts regardless of the sim, by the way. 15 minutes just to go through the checklist. Hey, there you go. That means you're doing it right. If you're not sitting on the ground working through some checklist from, 1927, then, I mean, are you really old school? I mean, on the one hand, it's kind of nice because you don't have to load like this big, huge flight plan into an FMC. So once you get going, it's nice because you're just there. The flight planning and stuff is not too hard, but you're right. There's a lot of dials and doohickeys and switches and stuff to get the old girl to sing for you, but it's so much fun. I have enjoyed this plane immensely. Really makes you appreciate, like when you jump into the PMDG, just how much of that stuff is automated. It makes you appreciate that a bunch. Alright, well, we've got, I'm telling you what,
November, cross runway 15 right, hold short of runway 15 left. Right via Bravo November, cross runway 15 right, hold short runway 15 left, or TM 7
yeah, I can't go cinematic here, but it's looking nice. The frames aren't too bad. Captain Sim generally gets after my frames a little bit, and this scenery has a tendency to be a little bit frame heavy, but so far this has been a pretty good combo. Okay, so we're going to head around the horn here, and we're looking for our first right after we get past the turn. Here is Quebec right here, and then we're going to make the turn, and our next right should be November. We are cleared to cross 15 right, so we'll do that. Boy, we're cooking here a little bit too. I should slow it down slightly. Alright, here we go. This is November. I don't see anybody on the runway, so that's good. We're going to cross. Whoops. Cut it a little too short there. Should have looked that way. Yep, we're good there. Head across. Somebody down there at Signature getting ready to rock and roll. There, that's a much better
Empress
taxi speed.
902, cross runway 15 left, taxi full length.
Cross 15 left, taxi full length, Empress 902. Yeah, this particular runway, 7,864 feet, is none too long for us. That is something that I have not set just yet. That was my mistake here. See if I can do this.
United 2047, Boston, sorry, say again. Mike, pass it. United 2047, radio check, loud and clear. Oh, I think.
Rotation speed of this baby, I may have to do it once I get settled. Rotation speed is between 140 and 150. I've generally been going kind of start the pullback at about 140, and especially tonight we're not very heavy. V2 somewhere. I've been going kind of 20, 40, 60. Oh, that's way off. It's really hard to set this. Might need just a minute before we go. I do have to run through a real quick procedure also.
Empress 90, turn left heading 140, wind 23011, gust 20, runway 22 right, clear for takeoff.
Can we just get one quick minute before takeoff clearance for Empress 902? Sorry about that.
Empress 902, can't stay off clearance, hold short of runway 22 right, advise ready to depart.
Okay, we'll hold short. We'll give you a call in just a second. 902, thanks. Alright, so here we go. Let's see if we can get this guy set. We're going to put him at 140. It's very sensitive here. That's close enough. 120, 140, oh boy, 60. Come on. There you go. Flaps, zero flap speed is just over
TBM
200.
7 Bravo India, cross runway 15 left, hold short of November 1.
There.
Okay, cross runway 15 left, hold
There
short
you
of
go.
November 1. For,
And then when we come back in,
7 Bravo India.
ref speed, we've just been trying to get it right about 140 also. Even though I know that's not, rotate and ref speed are not generally the same, but until I get a good set of charts here, performance charts, that's what we're going with. Alright, we need taxi lights can come off, takeoff lights are going to be coming on. We need to set our heading. This is going to be set down at heading select. 140 is our heading. So we've got to spin that around here.
TBM 7 Bravo India, can you take runway 22 right at November 1? It's about...
I'm holding up that guy.
It's only about 800 feet less than full length. Yeah, sure, we can take 22 right at November 1 for 7 Bravo India. TBM 7 Bravo India, thanks. On departure, fly heading 240, wind 23011, gust 20, runway 22 right at November 1, clear for takeoff.
Sorry about that, man.
Okay, on departure fly heading 240 and runway 22 right at November 1, clear for takeoff for TBM 7 Bravo India. TBM 7 Bravo India, let's make that at November 2, looks like you passed November 1, runway 22 right November 2, clear for takeoff.
Guy's coming right up there.
Sorry about that, I must have a scenery mismatch or something. Shoot right at November 2, clear for takeoff for 7 Bravo India.
And Tower Empress 902 is ready for departure.
Empress 902, runway 22 right, line up await, traffic departing outfield.
22 right, line up await, Empress 902. Alright, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. Wonder which direction he's going tonight.
United 2047 is ready to pull push back. United 2047, Boston Tower, hello, push back, push tail.
Alright, beautiful evening here in the Boston area.
Taxi.
Oh, there comes somebody.
Right, push,
Did I just land?
And
Where the heck did he come from?
2047. United 2047, just one from push tail south on Alpha.
That guy came out of nowhere unless he is the TBM that just jumped on there at November 2.
902, turn left heading 140, wind 23011, gust 20, runway 2, clear for takeoff.
22 right, clear for takeoff. We'll turn left heading 140, Empress 902. Alright, we have altimeter set, we have flaps at 5, heading is set, altitude warning is set. Okay, we're looking for 207.
TBM 7 Bravo India, contact departure. Contact departure today, 7 Bravo India.
That's a little bit of an over RPM warning horn, so it doesn't let you go past your takeoff speed. There's V1. We're calling it V1. There's rotate speed. We're going to pull back just gently. Might not be right on the money, but it's pretty close. You can tell we stayed on the back wheels just a little bit there, but we're getting positive rate. Gear's coming up. We're going to turn heading 140. We have to keep an eye on our airspeed here. Bring the flaps up.
Empress 902,
Power
contact
back.
Moncton Center 134.7, good evening.
3470, Empress 902, have a great night. Okay.
You too, sir.
We're going to get to 140 first.
United 2048,
Already our speed, as you can see, is a little bit high. Pulling back, I don't want to get too crazy with that, though.
United 2047, also on frequency.
Alright, 3470. I think I can do that real quick here. Okay.
Right 330 for 7 Bravo India.
Altitude 2,400. Boston Center. Good evening, Empress 902. 2,700 climbing 5,000.
Empress 902, Boston Center, radar contact. Tower heading 090, climb and maintain 14,000.
Left turn 090 up to 14,000, Empress 902. Alright, we'll just keep it going here. Speed has come down to 230, which is what I want. 090. I want to set the autopilot. I want to turn it on because I want to do this. I want to look at, yeah, look at that, guys. Wow, wow. Very, very nice. Very nice. Okay, now back to business. Monitor speed, monitor speed. Okay, 250. We're looking pretty good here. So we are cleared 14,000. I'm going to jump back down here. We'll adjust that. Again, that's just an altitude alert. It's not going to stop you. You have to do that. So this old, is this called a Sperry autopilot? Anyway, the way you activate it is you
Boston Center,
engage the ailerons and the elevators. We're leaving this on manual. We put this down on heading select, and it follows our heading bug. As you can see, we are tracking P's, and we need to probably spin our course around a little bit to... Alright, we may actually get a little shortcut around P's if it's clear off to our left like that. Alright. Left turn 040, Empress 902. Alright, that answers that question. Now, here's, again, partly why I think it, and it could very well be my calculations down here not being correct, but so our toga speed was 208, and our climb speed is actually somewhere in the 215 range. Now, we're only going 140 right now for power, which is keeping us right there, but again, the higher up you get, the more thrust you need to maintain your airspeed. So I'm thinking that's kind of what you need to do. We're going to keep our climb. Actually, we can go a little bit more than that. Pull back. So here's how you set your pitch. You just pull your yoke back a little bit. You get it to about where you want it. You let go. And since the elevator is engaged, it just holds it right where you let go, basically. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so we're still a little bit east of P's and 43 miles. What I think I might do in the meantime is this.
Empress 902 unable, clear at P's, flying 010, direct P's unable.
010, direct P's unable, Empress 902. Okay. I was going to...
Empress 902, climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain 330, Empress 902. Alright, very good, very good. So let's get... let's get that set. Again, I can increase my climb a little bit here. You lose a little bit of altitude on the turn. You have to sort of pay attention to that. Alright, we're going to spin that course, and then we're going to engage the VOR localizer mode, and that will track us direct P's here for another 40 miles. Speed is dropping, so here's where I can increase, and again, I don't have to have this much power, but I'm cleared to an EPR of 215. So I'm going to just nudge that up a little bit here.
November 7, Bravo,
to 180.
1, pressure 180. Left 180 for November 7.
Speed is starting to come up. I'm almost to 10,000, so I don't mind if I go over 250 now. Eventually I'll be looking for decimal 78. But for now, just trying to make sure that we don't get too slow here. I have all my flaps up. Yes, I do. Flaps up, gears up. Let's run through the after takeoff checklist. Okay, 10,000 feet coming up. Go ahead and turn the landing lights off.
November 7 Bravo India, department altimeter is 30, crescent 2975, expect an ILS, runway 23 approach.
Turn the auto ignitions off.
Okay, 2975 altimeter, and we'll expect ILS 23 approach, and we have
turn the no smoking and belts to auto. Alright, our speed's looking much better. We're about, well, we're 203 with the right. I do have my throttle quadrant set so that the two thrust levers are independent of one another, so we'll try to keep that balanced as best we can. Alright, altitude alert, we just heard it. Oh, and we need to, by the way, we are cleared to our cruise altitude, so yep, there's that same tone. Up to 330. And I forgot to do something here that was not good. I maybe don't have this on my checklist. I can turn my weather radar on here. So the Captain Sim 737 comes with its own functional radar. I have no idea if it ties into active sky or not. I have not been able to ascertain that, but we're going to go ahead and just go normal range, and we should have some action here tonight based on what Sky Vector is telling me. Onward and upward we go through 16,000. Downwind, how you doing, man? You about got that hunk of metal ready to rock and roll yet? Did you remember the wobble pump? Prime the wobble pump a couple, 3 times. Okay, here's what I was looking at a minute ago, because we're getting close. We do need to start thinking a little bit.
November 7 Bravo India.
So we're going to hit P's, and then we make a 041 up here. It's just a short little 23-mile jog to Kennebunk, 17 decimal 10. So we'll be thinking ahead on that.
Can we get that heading one more time for 7 Bravo India?
Let's get our.
Heading 200, intercept the runway 23 localizer.
Right now you can see we're on the radial, but we're nosing left a little bit because of wind. So we're crabbing into the wind just slightly. Alright, so we're through 18,000. I should have a little while ago. Bump this down to 902 standard barrel. Climbing at almost 3,000. Don't need to climb that quickly. My airspeed is suffering a little bit as well, so we're gonna move that down to 2,000-ish. Yeah, it's gonna be more like 1,500. That's okay. Let's let this airspeed come back up. And we don't need to be crazy, but we're already at 205. You know, we could nudge that up slightly if we wanted to. Let's see how our airspeed responds by coming down here to 1,500 feet per minute. Almost ready to push and start. All right, are you VAT simming it, or are you doing it offline?
Boston Center, radar contact, common maintain 14,000. 7 maintain 14,000.
12 miles. I'm going to engage the heading mode here when we get inside 10 miles, because I've noticed that this plane gets just a little bit squirrely underneath 10 miles. Obviously, you get closer to the DME, it gets more sensitive, and the airplane actually starts to just kind of S-curve back and forth. So there's 10 miles. Pull that off. We'll pop the heading back on. Follow 090. By the way, this is the flight director. So you can turn the flight director to the VOR or the heading, or you can turn it off. It just gives you that little reference mark there as you're going, but you don't actually need it. It doesn't control anything. It's just, again, like a reference. All right, not on VAT Sim yet. See, that's the difference right there between Downwind Sim and myself. Downwind Sim actually likes to practice and get good at what he does before he streams, as opposed to just jumping on like me with like 2 flights under your belt and looking like an idiot. So you would think I would learn after hanging out with the guy for several months now, but I just have not yet.
64, climb and maintain 5230. 7 maintain 64.
And I just saw your message. Sorry about that, Downwind Sim, on the Discord. Sorry about that. Okay. DME is kind of holding tight. Yes, okay, so we've lost it. So we need to turn and do our 041 now.
Maintaining 2,500 till established on the localizer and
10, 20, 30,
3 approach for
41. I'm going to say that's pretty close to 41. We're going to spin this for a little bit of confirmation. And actually, it was a little bit of a late turn, so as you can see, I'm going to keep it coming to about 050. Kennebunked is 1710. We're only 23 miles away, so we'll surely get that guy. And we're going to have to track Kennebunk for a while here. Yep, we're already like within about, well, 18 miles, so we may not quite have enough time to get on this. We'll see. We'll see. We might even go 060 just to see if we can intercept this guy. And then the next turn is 085, and that's 168 miles. That's our longest leg here. Downwind is saying sometimes I've got to just turn it off and hand fly it. Yeah, you know, when I'm not streaming and I don't want to jump outside and be Mr. Cinematographer guy, I like to try to fly all of my flights up to cruise, just because of that. I just think it's important for you to get a feel for the aircraft, and it helps you later on when you're trying to land and you've got weather and all this fun stuff. Alright, I don't know why I'm throwing this into VOR mode, because I do take it off as soon as we're inside 10 miles, so yeah, that kind of was pointless right there, but alright, we'll stay on here. We're a little off, but it's hard to tell because it's getting super sensitive again. We do need to track 085 outbound. So we're just about to hear it to Kennebunk. We're going to make this right-hand turn 085 for 168 nautical miles. I highly doubt we're going to pick up Alex right away. We'll tune Alex into the number 2 nav just in case, but I would be very surprised if we pick that up. In fact, I'll go ahead.
112, Moncton 132.2. Good night.
Oh, Alex, by the way, sorry, Alex is just it's just an intersection. So yeah, okay, I forgot. I was gonna talk to you about this approach, this Fundy 3 approach. It's 5 miles. We can at least get the outbound here, but then we're gonna have to do some. We're gonna have to do some mental math. We're gonna have to do some trig here. I apologize, Chevy Chase. I was under the impression there would be no math, but no. On a deal like this, you gotta have it. So let's set this to 085. Let's get that heading the way that we're supposed to be heading.
64 is just one engine.
Okay, we're 320. Our speed is suffering a little bit here, but if we nudge it down just slightly, I think we can still climb. We're only climbing right now at about 500 feet a minute. I'm going to go ahead and give us a little more air, a little more thrust. I'm at 207. I could get to 215.
That is 64, turn right heading 050.
We're not super slow. We're Mach 0.62, so we're doing okay. I turned a bit late, as you can see. I'm a little off, so I'm going to go like 9 or 0, just till we get a little closer to the outbound. I'm almost at 330 though, so I want to get ready. My altitude hold is right here. I'm going to spin it over 2 clicks when I get to 330. That is cruise altitude, and then our speed will come up, take care of itself here. Alright, and that's close enough. Level out. It might take a second. We might yo-yo just a little bit here to get it where we need it to be, but alright, we'll monitor our airspeed here. We don't need to be, 212 much longer. as you can see, it's still well within the limits of everything here. It's a little bit, RPMs are a little high, but we're not, you know,
64 fighting is
we're not redlining anything.
70.
Our pressures, our temps all look good. Oil quantity, all that stuff looks good. So we're okay.
64, descend at positive discretion, maintain 3,000.
But as soon as we get ourselves up to Mach 7.8, we'll pull it back down, and I think we're somewhere in about that 185 range. But we're getting a little bit of turbulence here.
United 20 at 48 on this frequency.
Which is not surprising. Again, as I look at Sky Vector, you know, we're just starting to hit the sort of western edge of this weather, and it's going to take us most of the way to across this little Bay of Fundy. Alright, so speaking of Fundy, we have some navigational challenges here in that
2048, fire altimeter set to 2970.
now let me get up to cruise here, and then I'll talk to you about our navigational challenges. Just about on that outbound, which is good. I am looking at active sky. It's telling me we have winds 235 at 8.3, so a pretty nice tailwind actually.
1491 clearing Boston Airport.
Maybe a little off our right hand side, so it's going to be bumping us to the right. Okay, we're about 0.78. I'll pull this back ever so slightly, and we're just going to kind of look for, like I say, about that 1.8 range, and we're going to watch our airspeed here.
54, maintain your actually turn 10 degrees to the right, and keep over the water there, and fuel dumping will be at your own discretion.
Maintain our level, straight and level flight at decimal 7/8. So still a little quick, it's still climbing.
I'm going to leave you on that heading.
Alright, we're going to pull it back a little further.
0.9er. Your discretion, maintain out above 3,000.
1.89. Looking over here at the same time. You can see kind of the ballet we've got going here. So 1.86, 1.85, that ought to be pretty close. We're about 0.79, almost 0.8. You can see we're almost over speeding here. And we don't have to be in a big hurry out to Moncton. There's no rush. 42 miles from Kennebunk. And again, that leg is a grand total of 168. Alright, so here's what here's the situation, folks. We have this for the near future, but at a certain point we're gonna lose this Kennebunk VOR.
United 2048 Boston.
This is an intersection. Sorry, I've got the wrong thing here. So this is an intersection. It's not a VOR, but you can see we have the Yarmouth VOR that we're going to have to use here on a 329 to basically make sure that we're in the right spot. 1330, so we're going to tune that guy in real quick here on nav 2.
2970. Okay, and say your altitude. What is your altimeter reading right now?
And 329er. We are picking that up. That's good. So 329.
Yeah, 2048. Thanks. Radar contact.
Pull that guy in there.
6,000.
And so when that thing centers, we'll know we are at the Alex intersection. At Alex, then we make a turn That's actually when we joined the Fundy 3, I believe. I'm gonna just double check that because I'm not 100% positive. Oh, and I have to use my Navigraph charts for this. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not using it really to look at where we're going. Okay, just so you don't think I'm lying to you. I've taken that off, but I need to. Yeah, we don't have anything. Not a ADF or anything to Alex. So we're gonna be relying on that. Really doesn't show it very well here either. All right, but we need to let's look real close here, or real quick, at the Fundy. Overlay that. I think Alex is. Yeah, it's the first. It's our initial transition there. So we need to be heading from Alex. We need to turn 096. And here's where it gets a little bit tricky. And downwind, here's where I could use your assistance. If I understand correctly, this symbol, this little star, that indicates an RNAV waypoint. So while this chart doesn't say that this is an RNAV arrival, I'm almost thinking it is an RNAV arrival. But I'm going to give it a try because I think maybe I can track from Alex to Movox. I don't know how you say that. And it's 97 nautical miles here. And then, now, the more I look at this, the less confident I am that I should have filed this, because I'm seeing.
We would like to do left back, please.
Yeah. I'm seeing RNAV here and RNAV there, and I think I'm going to have to check in with Center and just tell him that I may have filed an arrival I'm unable to fly. But there's no other option for me. If I look at the rest of these, this is Edgar. It also has an RNAV waypoint that it references, and then it has a bunch of RNAV waypoints up here. The Lurla is talking about coming in from the northeast, and I think the Cabot is the same thing. Yeah, it's coming up from the other side. So yeah, we may be in a little bit of trouble with air traffic control, because I think I maybe have, unless there's a way to work off of Ebony here.
I'm sorry, but can I get a left vector to the Boston, please?
I may have filed an approach that I cannot actually fly. So that'll be interesting, I guess, to talk to air traffic and get his take on it. But for now, we're going to attempt to just stay on this. We're kind of making some small adjustments here, and at the same time, we're continually tracking over here. Oh man, sorry about that. I couldn't get to my mute in time. Yep, so downwind, I shouldn't have even filed it. I should have, and I tossed it in there without thinking. Yeah, so, well, I'll report, like I say, to that'll probably be Moncton Center there. I do have Halifax Tower, but no approach right now. I do have Halifax ATIS. So let's get a quick early peek at Halifax ATIS. So we're going to do, it's information kilo. It looks like winds 210 at 11. Visibility is 15. Few clouds at 8,000. 16 is 16,000. But it is overcast. 29er ILS runway 23. Okay, so that's That's good, because
Heading
that's
1491, you can
the
expect the ILS runway 15 approach.
longest of the runways there, so that's good for us.
Expect the ILS 15 approach, thanks for doing one, thanks.
So I'll be needing some vectors around. Probably they'll vector me as I get to Alex. They'll probably, if I was able to fly the RNAV, they would take me up probably to, I don't know if they'd take me right to this point. Nope, it looks like right here. To Log Po and then up on the, that would be like the downwind, and then they'd bring me back down here to runway 23. So I'll probably end up doing the same thing. I'll just have to let them know I'm unable to track those RNAV waypoints. Beg for mercy. Okay. In the meantime, my speed is pretty good. Set at about 180, oops, 182. Pull that back on the right hand side because we're a little bit higher. Try to get that balanced out as best we can. Everything else looks good. By the way, I don't have any speed or altitude restrictions that I can see here on the arrival, with the exception of, it looks like when I get a little bit closer they're going to want me at 3,000 or potentially 5,000. So, but I don't see anything out here at MOVOX. Aircraft planning ILS 23, mandatory altitude at Logpo not applicable. So that's telling me there maybe I don't have to be exactly at 5,000. Well, the beauty of having air traffic is that
FedEx 1491,
we'll get some
heading
guidance.
Heading 320, back to the final.
Alright, still nothing happening there.
320, back to the final, FedEx 1491.
It's getting pretty late, by the way, out at Moncton way, so I hope they stay on. I mean, it's
2048, Roger.
it's like almost, well, it's 10 o'clock, no, 9:15 out their way. They still have 3 departures and 3 arrivals coming, so like I say, hopefully, but we've lost approach. Hang in there, guys. I'm coming. Boy, we've tracked this VORTAC a long way. That's awesome. 133, we're 76 miles from the Yarmouth, and the Yarmouth is telling me here that this 329 will put us 53 miles away. So that's so we're within 20 miles of that, getting closer. Again, we're keeping our eye on this.
902, contact Moncton 132.2, good day.
3220 Empress 902, have a good one. All right, thank you, Boston ARTCC, as always. All right, here we go. We're going to beg for mercy here. Moncton, good evening. Empress 902, flight level 330.
Empress 902, Moncton, hello, Halifax, altimeter 296 standard. Not a whole lot going on. You can say requested approach there when you get the weather.
Okay, we have information Kilo, and actually we have a little bit of a mistake on our approach. We filed Fundy 3, and we are non-RNAV capable, so we would like the ILS runway 23, but we're gonna need some vectoring help on that. 902.
Empress 902, no problem. Expect ILS runway 23 via vectors. Now you can proceed direct to Halifax. Descend when you're ready to 1010,000, the Halifax altimeter 2969er.
Okay, clear direct Halifax. Pilot's discretion down to 10,000. Empress 902. Appreciate it. Okay, cool, man. So, Halifax. Let's see. What we got? 15.1. And down to 10,000. Okay, so forget everything. 15.1. Are we gonna? Yay, baby! Oh, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. Spin that guy there. Turn our heading here. Right there's what we need. We'll engage the localizer. And let's see. 10,000. We have 168 miles. So if we, I would say here anytime we could start the descent, honestly. First I'm going to take a quick trip to the little captain's room. I'll be right back. Alright, so there's a fuel warning. What that is our center fuel tanks are now empty. So we can turn those off.
We have 24 approach via Jutic Express 112 Heavy. Thanks.
Yep, so center you can see right there is pretty well dry. Still about 5,000 pounds on left and right, so we're in really good shape. I overestimated, like I have a tendency to do, but man, when I'm over water, I have a tendency to want to do a little more than I need. Alright, so we're going to descend to 10,000. The first thing I'm going to do, pull the power back slightly, because as you might imagine, when this thing starts heading down, it picks up speed pretty quick. We're just going to nudge it forward. We have a lot of room here. Oh boy, that was more than a nudge. I would like about 1,500 feet or so per minute, so I'm just kind of trying to, there we go, that's about what I need. We'll keep a very close eye on our speed. We don't want to overspeed, and then we will set our altitude alert to 10,000. Okay, looking good, looking good. Speed's looking good as well. I pulled my power all the way back to about 125. If I could keep my speed, you know, in that 260 to 250 range, I would be happy. Once I level off, it'll obviously slow down quite a bit. And they did tell me again that the altimeter 29er, it's maybe a skosh early, but since I'm cleared all the way down to 10,000, we're going to go ahead and let's put that in right now so we don't forget about it. Let's see. Descent checklist, brief the arrival. Well, alright, here's what the arrival looks like. direct Halifax. Sweet. Arrival briefing complete. Our ATIS at the current airport we have set 29er69er on the altimeter. It's overcast. That's the other part of the arrival that we're going to be keeping track of. We do have some clouds at 16,000, some clouds at 8,000, but we have overcast conditions. The nice thing here though is that we don't have any moisture to speak of. However, that's not to say temperature wise.
Hello, Moncton, this is Emergent 24 Heavy with you. Just wanted to confirm.
I have a little bit of an issue here because I don't remember where the outside air temperature gauge is. There we go. So we're 10 below. So we are definitely, if we're going to run into some cloud layers, yeah, we're probably going to be wise to have some anti-ice on, just in case. So
American 24 Heavy,
wing anti-ice is on.
70.
Engine anti-ice will come on. We already have the pitos always on there.
Say that again for American 24 Heavy. Sorry. American 24
All right. Down we go. We are
370, but I had initiated my that was 390. Okay, American 24 Heavy, maintain flight level 390. Climbing and maintaining flight level 390.
Okay, what else? Alright, VREF, we're going to call the VREF, by the way. Yeah, rotation speed was 140. We're going to say VREF is like 130-ish. It's a little bit high, I know, right there, but... And then our flap speed right there about 200, a little over 200, so we'll say 130. Oh, what do we want here? It's going to be hard for me to adjust. All right, that's a little low. I'll just kind of keep that in mind. Wish there was a better way to do it. Got some interesting little tidbits here and there. Need some foot air. Windshield air. Interesting. I love the wear and tear. I love the wires hanging out. All the scuffs and stuff, scratches. Well done, Captain Sim. All right. Downwind, how's it going, my man? I haven't heard from you for a while. I just about need another blue dolphin on the rocks. Runway 23. Again, I have to pull up my Navigraph. I do not have my moving maps engaged. Departure was a bit rough. 182 to Alex. Ah, so you're not too far behind. ILS 2-3. Oh, yeah. So let me do this. We actually are not doing Fundy 3. We're going direct Halifax. I'm going to change that. Okay, so we're going to be coming in here on this little this route here. Boy, with all these oceanic routes, it gets a little bit funky looking at all this. Maybe I can, how about we do this? Alright, much better. So we're going to be coming in here. We are roughly on a, as you can see right now, roughly on a 09er, no, 1010, so we're a little bit south, but I'm guessing at some point here we'll be cleared, be vectored sort of to the north of the field. We'll spin back around. The actual approach itself is actually to come to Moncton, fly the outbound, so I'm going to prepare for that, but I might get vectors in the meantime. If we do fly the actual approach, we'll be coming, we should actually be tuning 109.1 in. Let's do that real quick just to be ready. 1091. That's not quite reading just yet. I'm sure that's the localizer frequency to the runway, so we won't be, you know, until we get about 20 miles away, we won't be picking that guy up. But we'll get to 1091. We will back course 053. We will, let's see, we want to be, so Middick is the initial approach fix. We've got to be above, okay, we get out here to 6 miles from Middick. Okay, so Middick is 4.4, so we'll get out here about 10 DME. 10 DME will make this little procedure turn 080. We'll flip it back around 188. Then we'll intercept that localizer and we'll bring it on into runway 23. So we'll have 109.1 tuned in. We will have, let me move this out of the way. I'm going to have this on my left hand side. We need to have an outbound of 053 set, heading 1 2 3, spin that around as well when it picks up. Okay, it's pretty darn close. We need to be at 3,000, by the way, when we make that procedure turn. Trying to do the work of 2 people. Downwind Sim, you're absolutely right. And actually 3, because doesn't the MD-80 also have an engineer back there fiddling with the engines and the fuel and all that good stuff? Alright, down below 18,000.
I think Express 112 heavy.
Still have 70 miles to go. Yeah, we started a little early, didn't we? Oh well. Never good at judging these arrivals.
811 Halifax, power now, 118.4.
Gonna pull it back to about 1,000, maybe even less than that. Can I get this guy to come back up? I don't know if I can. It's hard to see. There we go.
Empress 902, turn left heading for 0 vectors, the localizer 25.
Oh. Left turn 080. Empress 902. You say 25?
Then I'm sorry, it's the island 23.
Had a scramble in there for just a minute. ILS 23 Empress 902. Alright, here we go.
You're head scrambling. Imagine me having to remember all these different knickknacks you guys are calling up saying we're going direct here. Where's that?
Now we like to keep you on your toes. I tell you what, these guys up here, there's a reason I come back at least once a month. It is so much fun, and these guys do such a good job. Now we're in the soup here, so I apologize. It's not going to be very visually appealing, but yeah, we're getting down. We're 60 miles out. We're not reading that guide just yet, so we're not going to fly that back course now. We're not going to fly the actual procedure, but that's okay. There's an NDB approach. I should have requested. See, now the NDB approach requires a little bit. Oh, we could have tuned in Split Crow. Oh, I'm gonna have to take a look at that guy. That looks interesting. I've not ever flown that approach into Halifax.
Specimen 12, we're clear on the right side, 24.
So you come in here.
Specimen 12, February, you texted apart to this.
We would exit out here, turn left 053, tune in the Z and S NDB. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, so head out. I'm gonna have to research that a little bit more. We're not gonna worry about it just yet. It's too much to pay attention to right now. But anyway, we're not flying this as is. We're getting a little bit of a radar vector, which air traffic can do. Haven't spilled the coffee yet? Well, good deal. I haven't spilled my ice water yet either. So I'm going to go ahead then. If that's the case, I'm going to spin this guy around to 233. I will keep the Halifax VORTAC tuned in just in case, but then once I see the runway localizer come into play over here on nav 2, then I'll go ahead and switch it up as well. We're sitting about 50 miles out right now, 13,300 feet. Now we can come down a little quicker than that. If we level off at 10,000 a little early, that's okay, because we still need to get down to around 3,000 to get underneath the glide slope. This is a strange cloud layer. I don't know how well you can see, but you can see some blue sky, and then you can see a bunch of clouds. There's one moving past us. Yeah, dark out there. So hey, a weird thing with my flight sim time that we ran into out at Hawaii. So my sim time is set to my system time, which corresponds very well to the lower 48 states. Why wouldn't that also correlate then to Hawaii? I mean, it was almost like it was East Coast time out there because when we flew, it was 2 in the afternoon or something out at Hawaii, and it was pitch black. Sorry, I'm referring back to a flight that I did early on. Yeah, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to switch to X-plane. You're going to switch to P3D, and then we'll still be in the same shape we're in right now. Won't have those problems over there. Yeah. So they say. So they say. Alright, still not picking up anything there. I'm waiting for Al South to hook me up with that 8 terabyte SSD that he's getting such a smoking hot deal on. I need sponsorship. This channel needs sponsorship. 11,100. Well, as my viewer count goes from 5 to 2 as soon as I mention sponsorship. Hey, I broke the 30 follow mark this week, man. I'm happy. I should do a special 30 followers
Moncton Center at Encore 3484.
stream.
Checking flight level 4,700. Sorry for the delay.
Where do you tell you what? Downwind, I think you're my first ever follower. Where shall I fly on Wednesday?
Just Encore 3484.
I'll let it be a viewer request. And I got a hankering for some bush flying, by the way, so I'll just leave it at that. But where do we need to fly, man?
Cancel turn left, heading to 140 on 170.
10,300. I'm going to set the altitude hold.
That's heading 140 and 170 for Encore 3480.
Alright, well, I'm going to look around a little bit here. Obviously, we can't go wrong in the Rocky Mountains. And, alright, altitude hold. We'll figure that out. Yeah, man, that's big for a guy that is not really that good at streaming and flying and don't watch that number well. And that's I'm trying to use my non-sarcastic voice here. It's clearly not about the numbers. But I tell you what, it's been nice meeting you guys. It's been nice connecting with you guys. I see some ground lights. Uh-oh. Dang it.
Gauge for 619.
Oh, man.
That's 23 approaching the Halifax.
I must have missed him.
4,000 Halifax, altimeter 2970.
Oh, boy.
Express 619, copy approach. We're 23 at Halifax and descend 4,000 when ready. Tonight, Express 619.
And Empress 902, sorry for missing that call. We're heading down to 4,000. There's my weather. Okay, get that set. How's my speed doing? 240, that looks really good. We're going to just keep pulling back a little bit on the throttle. I'm going to nudge forward a little bit on the yoke. Set it at about 1,500 because I think that I was a little late on that descent. I do have a approach. I don't need the approach quite yet, but I'm closing in on 10,000. I'm below 10,000, so I do need to put my landing lights on. Man, the click spot's tough. Taxis, turn off, and I'm going to turn my auto ignition on. Okay, we're on our way down, 8,000. Speed is maybe just a skosh high here. I don't want to pull back the power really anymore because it's hard to get going again. So I'm just going to try to slowly pull my nose up just with the elevator control here. There we go. 1,000 feet per minute. That should help me bleed off a little bit of airspeed. He says, hopefully. So I'm a little quick right now. I'm supposed to be 250 or less. I clearly am not. 20 miles from Halifax right now, by the way, and I am picking up my localizer, so I think we'll go ahead. We're going to do a little switcheroo here. 1510. We're going to go 1510 here. And 109.10. here. So now I've got that's my distance to the airport. That's my distance also to the airport, but that's my localizer frequency here. Yep, getting to know you, getting to know Al South, getting to know Slant Alpha. Probably the three best things that's happened to me in Flight Sim this year. I am a much better sim pilot. I'm not sitting in this left seat right now without the stuff that I've learned from you guys. So you're to blame as well, buddy. So much appreciated.
Opposite direction, inbound to Halifax. Left direction.
And you should have seen my departure tonight, man. I was right down the old Striperino there, keeping my eyes on the end of the runway instead of looking right off the nose. 5,800. I'm hoping I'll pick up. Again, it might be overcast. So let me just real quick get an updated ATIS. Information Lima. Yep, still 8,000 overcast is what they're saying. So we might be running into, you can see a little bit of the lights, but you can kind of also see, I don't know how well that looks on the stream, but it's very foggy looking down there. So sweet. He's hit Alex. Yeah, that's the transition into the arrival. Very cool, man. I do have Moncton Center, Halifax Tower still on 1840. When I get kind of turned around heading home, I'm sure I'll get that frequency change. Boy, I'm just fast. Flat out 270. Gonna pull her back even more. Hate to do it, but I can't be screaming in here at 270. I'll level out just for a second. Didn't mean to level out quite that far, but pull her back to around 500 if I can. There we go. Now my speed's coming down. I'd really like it at this point to be somewhere in that.
Turn right at 180 3000. You can bring your speed back when ready.
Right turn 180 down to 3000. Yeah, we're trying to slow down Empress 902. Really like that to be like around 210 or now even about 190. Okay, we're gonna head towards home here and see if we can't pick up that localizer. Trying to just trim it out ever so slightly. Okay, 3000 is where we're heading. Get ready to lock in that altitude hold. Okay, speed's coming down good. We're about 230. As soon as I level off, I'm gonna have to put power back in though, or we're gonna be in danger of stalling out. Let's want to level out already.
Empress 902, turn right heading 200, join 23 localizer.
Right turn 200, join the localizer, Empress 902. Alright. We'll keep the turn going. Oh, I think we went through it actually. And Empress 902 looked like we maybe blew through that localizer. Can we keep the turn going to about 260?
Empress 902, still showing north of the localizer. You can deviate as required to intercept.
Alright, let me just double check my charts here, make sure I don't have something tuned in incorrectly. I'll get right back to you, 902. Yeah, we're definitely past, according to this.
902.
So 110.9. Oh, 1099, that's the problem.
902, the frequency for ILS 23 is going to be
Yeah.
109.9 with an inbound course 233.
Yep, had that wrong frequency there. Looks like we're grabbing that localizer now. Thanks for the help, 902. Okay, so threw it over to auto approach. Alright, it's going to S-turn us a little bit because now we really did go through the localizer. Speed's looking good. We are below.
Empress 902, once established on the localizer, you're clear Halifax Airport straight on ILS 23 approach.
Clear for the ILS 23 approach. Empress 902. Okay, can't let it get too much lower here, which is not. There's we're flap speed and
American
10 miles. I'm going to go ahead and throw flaps 5.
Services are terminated frequency check through. Have a good day.
Must be about to lose tower here, potentially.
Thank you, Moncton. You have a great evening. Thank you for the ATC service. Bye.
Like to be fully configured at about 4 DME. Like to have gear down around 7. Pilot to ATC helping me tonight. Okay, yeah, cool, man, cool. Haven't heard of what that is, but must be some fancy MD-11 X-plane thing that you guys have. All right. Yep. So here we are again, just kind of zipping, zigging, and zagging, and I should be starting to see, I would hope, some runway lights here. If I get my runway lights, I might just turn everything off and just hand fly it. But again, I think we have.
Empress 902, contact Halifax tower now, 118.4.
1840. I appreciate the help and the ATC. We'll see you next Monday, Empress 902.
902, Roger.
Ah, no, don't do that. That's the wrong thing to change. Change your comm frequency. 1840. I can't tell you how many times I do that. Okay, we're going to have to rely on the glide slope to help us here. We're 5 DME. Oh, there we go. I've got the runway. Halifax Tower. Good evening, Empress 902 on the ILS 23.
Empress 902, Halifax Tower, good evening to you, sir. Winds are 240 at 8. Clear to land runway 23.
Clear to land runway 23, Empress 902. Alright, gear down, flaps 15. We are 4 miles away now. We'll go flaps 30. Try to get that speed to come down. We're on the glide slope now. Alright. Speed, I don't want it to go much below 140, at least initially here. We are crabbing into it a little bit here. Again, our wind's 220 at 8, so actually feels like we're crabbing the wrong way here. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I've got either a bad ATIS or I've got bad weather engine going, because the wind should be hitting us from our left. Alright, but we're on the glide. We're 2 miles out. We are I'm going to let it take us down here to about 1,000 feet. My speed is getting us go slow. Let's try to keep it. I know we're estimating about 130 on that ref, but let's not get there just yet, because as you can see, that nose wants to come up, and that makes it really challenging. I'm gonna turn this guy off. Sterile cockpit. Yeah, I'm just trying to think out loud here. There we go. 140 coming down nicely on the glide, more or less on the localizer. This is a default airport, so I might not be perfectly lined up, so I'm going to come off of it right now. We got everything else pretty well lined up, and let's just see if we can bring it home. Sterile cockpit as downwind sim throws me 27 text messages in a row. You dirty dog. Beautiful little airport though. I don't have a gate necessarily in mind. I'm just going to get on the ground and see what GSX suggests. I'm definitely crabbing opposite of where the wind says I should be. Downwind sim, I can see the things rolling. Can't read. Getting a little bit low. Airspeed's still pretty good though. Okay, gears down, 3 green, flaps 30, altimeter set, landing lights are on. Nose coming up. Just a tiny bit low. Not horrible. I think flies kind of like a brick, really, down here close to the runway. There we go. We're on. Need the call-outs. Alright, we're down. Reversers engaged. Manual braking. Well, my landing lights aren't kicking out very far here. Okay, here we go. I think we've got a right-hand exit here. Looks like Charlie. Who knows how much that corresponds to the real scenery, but in my default, we're information Charlie, and we're going to check in here with Tower, see what he has to say. We're off. Okay to clean up. And we'll get ourselves kind of configured here for taxi. Catch up, see how bad I've been cyberbullied by my friend Downwind Sim. Alright. And we turn off, we'll leave those on just for a little extra light, 'cause I'm kind of dim right now. Alright, let's see. What does GSX says? I have 17 suitable gates. I have a gate 14 sounds
Empress
good.
902, welcome to Halifax, sir. From Charlie, taxi, Alpha, apron at your discretion, a gate of your choice, and thank you very much for flying this evening.
Charlie Alpha, apron our discretion, gate of our choice, and you're welcome. Thanks for the ATC, man. It was fun. We'll definitely be back here on Moncton Monday. Empress 902.
Excellent, love to have you. Have a great night.
Love these guys. Love these guys. All right, so I have a follow me tug coming, just because again with the fact that we are in a default airport, I definitely don't exactly know where gate Alpha 14 is, or whatever I just picked. So hopefully Mr. Tug will be along shortly. Plus, I kind of like following the tug. All right, let's catch up with Mr. Sterile Cockpit. I won't type till after you land and you can read this stuff. Oh my gosh. Turkey dog. There he is. There he is. Where are we going, buddy? This is why you and I get along so well. Downwind sim. You could be a middle school principal. I'm telling you, man. Alright, where did you go, Tug? Come on. Get going, buddy. What I tell everybody when they ask me why a middle school principal, I tell them because that's pretty much where my maturity level stopped. Was about 7th grade. So that's why I connect so well with all these yahoos. All right, Tug, where are you? Tug, oh Tug. Oh, he's going the other way. Why are you going the other way? Oh, he's trying to get around because I ran over him. There was a little bit of dairy product on that one. Yeah, I think I set it down a little hard. It felt kind of chunky. Wasn't like smooth peanut butter. It was more of the chunky style, but still pretty tasty. All right, I see you, man. Are you telling me? I feel a little bit like Lassie. Timmy fell down the well. Where is it, girl? Show me. So here's the worst part about you not being on the network, Downwind, is I could sit here and distract you as you're on your approach, and yeah, we could take a look on the stream here, but you've deprived me of that privilege. So we'll have to figure it out. Boy, I'm taxiing like a drunken sailor. Come on, get going, dude. Twelve footer will probably get the job done there. That with your combination of your binoculars, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so let me do, while I'm doing this, as has become the new tradition on the channel, let's get some tunes going. Taxi tunes, we're calling them, because watching a taxi in is not exciting enough. Gotta have some music. Alright, so while I finish this flight, all I have left this week on the regular Monday, Wednesday, Saturday schedule is Wednesday night. And again, we are going to be doing some bush flying somewhere. Hopefully I can talk some of my friends like Downwind Sim into joining us, but around midnight Zulu, like always, we'll be somewhere. I'm thinking I'm going to be in the de Havilland Beaver. I'm still fighting with the Orbix, by the way, with my seaplane bases. If I ever get those fixed up, that's where I'll be that day, but unfortunately I'm not making much progress with those guys. So in the meantime, we'll probably jump back into the mountains somewhere. The Rocky Mountains have a lot of awesome air spaces, and you know, it's never a bad thing to jump into that Idaho backcountry. But then Saturday I'm off. I'm actually going to be at a wedding. I've got a really good friend, and his daughter is getting married, and I've known her since she was knee-high, basically, and it's going to be an awesome day. So I'll be off on Saturday. We'll be here Wednesday. It's going to be a little bit of a light week, but that's okay. I will keep track of the Discord, Downwind. I'll let you know what I decide. And there's our guys, it looks like. And we'll definitely coordinate, man, because it's been too long. It's been a couple weeks, I think, hasn't it? We've done a flight? Alright, well, here's my turn. Time for me to say goodnight. And again, I wish you guys all the best. I'll be looking for you on the TCAS. Enjoy the rest of your week. Till next time, take care and God bless.